Hello everybody and welcome to Bull Technology. In March, the Nintendo Switch turns 5 years old. Even with its dated hardware, it continues to outsell both Xbox and PlayStation, which definitely begs the question, is the Switch still worth it 5 years later? Let's find out. Important to any tech device are both the hardware and the software. So today we'll look at both factors with regards to the Switch. The hardware as in the physical design and the capability of the internals, and the software as in the Switch's OS and of course games. The hardware of the Switch is definitely unique. With it being the only convertible console, some things are definitely compromises. The Joy-Cons, which are the primary interface devices, can be attached or detached from the main console, and overall they feel usable enough for gaming and interacting with the console, though I definitely prefer a more traditional controller. The Switch also features a touchscreen, which definitely feels somewhat underutilized. The Switch dock, which allows the Switch to be hooked up to an external display, feels pretty cheap and flimsy, but I guess it does its job. And it also gives the Switch a couple of additional USB ports. The console itself is fairly sturdy and well built. The 720p display is fairly mediocre, but not horrible, and definitely the same can be said for the fairly tinny built-in speakers. The overall design and build quality of the Switch are nothing to write home about, but definitely the internals are where the Switch falls way behind. The 32 gigabytes of internal storage is quite frankly a joke in 2022, though it can be upgraded with a micro SD card. The NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip that powers the Switch was behind in 2017 when the Switch was released, and it's definitely behind today. While many older AAA titles have come to the Switch, its low power means future games will struggle to get a Switch port. Even Nintendo's first-party games experience frame drops from time to time, and this is perhaps the biggest issue with the Switch. It's just underpowered. Battery life is around 4 to 5 hours, which won't beat your MacBook Air, but it's an impressive figure for a device running such massive games. And as a matter of fact, almost all of the hardware complaints can be forgiven because the Switch is so versatile. I can dock my Switch to play Zelda, and then undock my Switch to keep playing Zelda on the go. It's magical and seamless and intimate in a way that my Xbox will never be, and I love that. So yes, the Switch is definitely behind on hardware, but nothing else can even compete with its portability. The software of the Switch is also unique. The operating system is simple, clean, and easy to use. It's not as feature-filled as Xbox or PlayStation, but frankly, I don't use most of the features on those platforms anyway. The Switch's OS is great, but what about the games? Well, this is where the Switch shines. Of course, Nintendo's first-party games run perfectly on the Switch. Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the best open-world games out there, and Animal Crossing New Horizons is endless fun. Truth be told, the Switch would be worth it for just those two games alone. But of course, there are many third-party games available for the Switch. I was unbelievably excited when I found out I could play Skyrim on the go, and this port of the game runs perfectly at 30 frames per second, also with many of the remastered graphics. Minecraft, a staple of any gaming platform, runs on the Switch fairly well, though performance tanks with many entities nearby. City Skylines is one of my favorite city builders, and it runs well enough on the Switch, though sometimes the frame rate is more than a bit choppy. Really, the number of games available for the Switch is incredible, and I guarantee you'll find more than a few games you enjoy on this amazing system. Yes, games will only run at up to 1080p, and you're lucky to get 30 frames per second all the time, but for a system this small and this portable, the number of games it can run is crazy. So as far as software is concerned, the Switch is a big win from me. So is the Nintendo Switch worth it? Well, at $299 for the base model, absolutely. And what's even better is Nintendo recently unveiled a new Nintendo Switch with a better OLED display and double the storage, and that model starts at $349, which I would definitely say is worth the extra $50. And of course there's still the Nintendo Switch Lite, a version that isn't dockable and is a little smaller, which retails for $199. But no matter what model you get, the Nintendo Switch is an excellent console. This adorable little machine isn't as powerful as my gaming PC or even my Xbox, but what it is fun, portable, and capable. So here's to 5 years of the Nintendo Switch, and many more to come. Be sure to leave a like, a comment, and definitely subscribe. And as always, thank you all for watching.